No, I just finished watching first season of Bloodline, Netflix original show, and overall, just going by the story, I thought it was an interesting story that was told. It was the story of the Rayburn family, mostly talking about the kids, but started with Robert Rayburn and his wife Sally that had are running an inn hotel type thing down in the Florida Keys, and they're having a family reunion friendly get together type big celebration because they're having a pier dedicated to them, since they've been running this business for 40 years. It's been quite a while, and a lot of the story revolves around them and their children: Meg, John, Danny, Kevin, and most of them are there except for Danny, and he's kind of the black sheep of the family. But his true intentions aren't quite that clear when he gets there. But show had a lot of flashbacks, like when they were younger kids, and had a bunch of flash forwards that gave you glimpses of what was happening or what was going to happen, and helped you've got filled in as the show progressed. And the one thing that surprised me was Danny Rayburn, the guy that played him, Ben Mendelsohn, really surprised me with his portrayal, because it kind of sucked me in a little bit. You weren't quite sure of what he was going for in some of the episodes. Was he trying to turn over a new leaf? Was he just putting up a front and lying? Because at the beginning it just seemed like kind of a mess up, screw up. But by the end he had this plan that he was kind of working on, and still by the end you weren't quite sure exactly what he was going to do next. But it was really interesting. Thought the Mendelsohn was a pretty good actor, and I mean, not take away from other people like Kyle Chandler. I've seen him in other things. He was really good too. Sissy Spacek. I mean, acting was generally pretty good, I thought. Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, Danny just kind of, a little legal thing here, a little thing there, trying to get some money. But by the end, like, the DEA was involved, and it was just pretty crazy. And the whole family was trying to kind of struggle in what they might do to either help him or kind of change his course. But it was a good arc, I thought. They really set up, not really, they kind of set up for another season, which I read is going to happen. I'm not gonna spoil the ending there, but it got kind of touchy, there at the end, with what was going on and exactly how it was going to be handled. But if I had a complaint, it would be it dragged on a little too much. I thought the first 9 episodes were kind of slow. Thought with episode 10ish around there, it started picking up a good bit, but I don't know, maybe they needed to cut down this episode count from 13 to maybe 10, kind of just crunch it all in there. But I understand what they're going, with the story, what they were going through. But yeah, I just wish they could have sped up kind of the urgency a little bit in some of those earlier episodes. I know they need to introduce everything, but yeah, kind of get it all gelling together a little bit better. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty good series so far. Not sure where they're going to go with season 2. I could see parts of season 1 coming back to haunt people a little bit. Maybe. I'd recommend watching it if you need something to tide you over. Walking Dead's over for the season. Mad Men, I think, is going to start up soon, so this could be a good filler. I almost thought it was going to be kind of Dexter-ish at first, being set in Florida. And John's, I know Dexter wasn't a cop per se, but he worked in the same department. And John is an officer with the county sheriff's department. But, by the end, I wasn't really thinking Dexter too much, but yeah, definitely give it a look. Be prepared to sit through some slower parts, but it does pick up towards the end there, so if you can stick with it, I think that'd be good. I'm gonna go and cut this short. It's a little after midnight. I'll see y'all next time.